In a grand hall filled with alien leaders, the Galactic Council met to discuss a serious issue. The room was buzzing with tension as they faced a big decision. Captain Alara, a human pilot known for her bravery, watched the council from the back of the room. She felt a knot of worry in her stomach. The council was deciding whether to ban human ships from the galactic wars. The leader of the council, a tall alien with bright blue skin named Chairman Varek, spoke loudly. "We must protect our galaxy from the growing threat of human ships. They are unpredictable and dangerous." The room echoed with murmurs of agreement. Alara felt her heart sink. She knew humans were not the threat the council thought they were. They had always fought to protect the galaxy, not destroy it. Alara remembered her childhood when humans and aliens worked together to defeat a great evil. But now things were different. The council was scared. They feared human innovation and strength. As she looked around the room, she saw worried faces. Some council members were hesitant, but the fear in the room was overwhelming. "Ban all human ships!" shouted a council member with sharp features and glowing eyes. "We cannot take any chances." The council voted, and Alara held her breath. She felt a cold wave of dread wash over her when the results were announced. The ban passed with a majority. Humans were now officially banned from joining the galactic wars. Alara rushed out of the hall, her heart racing. She needed to find out what this meant for her people. Would they be left defenseless against their enemies? As she made her way through the crowded corridors, she overheard other aliens talking about the ban. "It's for the best," one said. "Humans are too aggressive." Alara felt anger rise within her. How could they judge her people so quickly? Once outside, Alara took a deep breath of fresh air. She gazed at the stars above, feeling lost. Her home planet, Earth, was thousands of light years away, but she felt a strong connection to it. She knew she had to do something. Alara decided to gather her friends and fellow pilots. They would not let this ban stand without a fight. Alara reached out to her closest friend, Leo, who was also a talented pilot. He had a sharp mind and a brave heart. She found him in the hangar working on his ship. "Leo, we need to talk," she exclaimed. He looked up, concern in his eyes. "What's wrong, Alara?" "It's the council. They banned human ships from the galactic wars," she said, her voice shaking with emotion. "We can't just accept this. We need to find out why they did it." Leo frowned, wiping grease from his hands. "You're right. But how do we start? The council won't listen to us now. We gather information," Alara said, determination flooding her voice. "We need to find out who influenced the council. There must be a reason behind this ban." Leo nodded, and together they began to brainstorm a plan. As they spoke, Alara's heart raced with excitement and fear. She knew the risks of going against the council, but she also knew she had to protect her people. They needed to understand the truth and fight back. The next day, Alara and Leo called a meeting with their fellow pilots. They gathered in a small room filled with old maps and star charts. Alara stood in front of them, her heart pounding. "We cannot let the council keep us in the dark. We need to investigate the ban and find out who is behind it," she urged. One pilot, a fiery woman named Zara, raised her hand. "I heard whispers of a powerful group in the council that fears us. They think we're a threat." The room fell silent. Alara knew Zara was right. The fear of humans was stronger than she thought. With a plan forming, Alara felt a surge of hope. Together they would uncover the truth. The ban might have been decided, but Alara was determined to fight back. She would not let her people be silenced. As they prepared to embark on their mission, a fire ignited within Alara. The fight for humanity had just begun. The news of the ban on human ships spread quickly. Alara felt the weight of the situation on her shoulders. She knew they had to act fast. If the Galactic Council was hiding something, they needed to find out what it was before it was too late. Gathering her team was just the first step. Now they needed a plan. Alara and her friend Leo met in the hangar, surrounded by their fellow pilots. The room buzzed with excitement and fear. Alara looked at each of them, determination shining in her eyes. "We need to find out why the council really banned us. There must be a reason behind it. We can't just sit back and do nothing," she declared. Zara, the fiery pilot, nodded. "I have some contacts who work on the outer edges of the council. They might have information about what's going on." Alara felt a spark of hope. "Great! Let's reach out to them and see what they know." The team quickly divided into groups. Zara and Leo would go to gather information, while Alara would start looking for hidden documents. They knew it would be dangerous, but they also knew it was their only chance to uncover the truth. As Zara and Leo headed out, Ilara made her way to the Council's main archive. It was a huge building filled with thousands of files and records. She felt nervous as she approached the entrance. The guards eyed her suspiciously, but she held her head high. She had to act confident to avoid raising any alarms. Inside, Ilara navigated through the maze of shelves filled with records. She searched for anything related to the ban on human ships. As she flipped through documents, her heart raced. Most of the files were boring reports and meeting minutes, but she kept looking. She needed something valuable. After what felt like hours, Ilara found a folder marked Human Fleet Developments. She opened it and discovered documents detailing the Council's concerns about human technology. There were mentions of humans developing advanced weapons and ships that could challenge the Council's power. Ilara's stomach churned. The Council was afraid of humans because they knew how powerful they could be. Just then, Ilara heard footsteps behind her. She quickly hid the folder under her jacket. A guard walked by, but luckily he didn't notice her. Ilara's heart pounded in her chest as she carefully made her way back toward the exit. Meanwhile, Zara and Leo were on the outskirts of the Council's main area talking to their contacts. They met a young alien named Tarek, who had information about the Council's secret meetings. "I've heard whispers of a powerful group within the Council that wants to keep humans weak," Tarek said, glancing around nervously. "They think humans will rise up and take control." Zara and Leo exchanged worried glances. "But why?" Leo asked. "Humans have always fought for peace." Tarek shook his head. "They see you as a threat. Your innovation scares them. That's why they pushed for the ban." Back in the archive, Ilara returned to her friends, her heart racing with new information. "I found something important," she said breathlessly, holding up the folder. "The Council is afraid of our technology. They think we could be a threat to their power." Zara's eyes widened. "That's why they banned us. They want to control us." Ilara nodded, feeling the weight of the truth. "We need to share this information with everyone. If they see what the Council is really doing, they might support us." The team quickly devised a plan to broadcast the information. They gathered at the hangar, where they could use an old communication device to reach the humans and their allies across the galaxy. As Ilara prepared to send the message, she felt a mix of excitement and fear. "Are we ready?" she asked her team. Everyone nodded, their expressions serious. Ilara took a deep breath and began to speak into the microphone. "This is Captain Ilara of the Human Fleet. The Galactic Council has banned our ships because they fear our potential. We must unite and fight back against their lies." As her message went out into the galaxy, Ilara felt a surge of hope. They were not alone in this fight. Together, they would uncover the truth and show the Council that humanity was not a threat, but a force for good. The battle for their rights had only just begun, and Ilara was ready to lead the charge. Ilara's message spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Humans and their allies responded with excitement and determination. They were ready to stand up against the Council's unfair ban. But Ilara knew they needed more than just support. They needed solid proof of the Council's lies. After the broadcast, Ilara gathered her team again. They met in the hangar where they could speak freely without the Council's watchful eyes. Leo, Zara, and Tarek were there, their faces filled with anticipation. "What's next?" Leo asked, eager to take action. Ilara looked around at her friends, feeling a deep sense of purpose. "We need to find hard evidence that shows the Council's plan to control us. If we can uncover their secrets, we can rally everyone to our cause." Zara nodded, a fire in her eyes. "I can reach out to more contacts. There are rumors about secret meetings that the Council holds to discuss us." Tarek chimed in. "I might be able to gather intel on their security systems. We can find a way to sneak in." With a plan forming, the team split up again. Zara would gather more information, while Ilara, Leo, and Tarek would investigate the Council's secret meetings. They knew this was a risky move, but the time for action had come. That night, Ilara and Leo prepared to infiltrate the Council's main facility. They donned disguises, hoping to blend in with the Council members. Tarek helped them find a hidden entrance that led to the lower levels of the building. "Stay close and be careful," he warned them. "The guards are everywhere." As they sneaked through the dark corridors, Ilara's heart raced. She could hear the faint sounds of meetings happening above them. They reached a room with a small window, just big enough to peek inside. Ilara held her breath as she carefully looked through. Inside, a group of council members sat around a table, their faces tense. Chairman Varric was speaking, his voice low and urgent. "We must ensure the humans do not learn about the weapons we have developed. They are a danger to our control over the galaxy." Ilara's stomach dropped. They were not just afraid of human ships. They were afraid of humans discovering their hidden weapons. She quickly turned to Leo. "Did you hear that?" "They're hiding something big." Leo nodded, his eyes wide with shock. "We need to get this information out to everyone." But before they could move, the door creaked open. A guard stepped into the room and Ilara froze. She quickly pulled Leo back, hoping they wouldn't be seen. They waited silently, hearts pounding, as the guard spoke to the council members. "Everything is secure, Chairman." "No one has accessed the restricted areas," he reported. Ilara and Leo exchanged worried glances. They had to be careful. They couldn't get caught now. After the guard left, Ilara turned back to the window. "We need to find those weapons," she whispered. "If we can expose them, the galaxy will see the truth." Leo agreed, and they decided to split up to cover more ground. As they searched the lower levels, they finally found a heavily guarded door marked Restricted Area. Ilara felt a mix of fear and excitement. This could be it, the evidence they needed. They exchanged determined looks, knowing they had to try. Ilara used her skills to hack the security panel next to the door. Her fingers moved quickly, and with a soft beep, the door opened. They slipped inside, holding their breath. The room was filled with advanced technology, and at the center was a massive weapon. Ilara's eyes widened. This was what the council had hidden from everyone. "We have to take pictures of this," she whispered to Leo. He quickly pulled out his device and began snapping photos. Suddenly, an alarm blared. "We've been discovered!" Leo shouted. Panic surged through Ilara as they sprinted toward the exit. They could hear guards rushing toward them. "Go, go, go!" Ilara urged as they raced through the halls. They dodged guards and alarms, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They finally reached the hidden entrance where Tarek was waiting for them. "What happened?" he asked, eyes wide. "No time to explain. We have the proof," Ilara replied breathlessly, showing him the photos. Tarek's expression changed from worry to awe. This could change everything. As they escaped into the night, Ilara felt a sense of victory. They had uncovered the shocking truth. The council was not only afraid of humans, but was also hiding powerful weapons that could threaten everyone. Now they had what they needed to fight back. The battle for freedom had taken a dangerous turn, and Ilara was ready to lead her people to victory. Ilara and her team gathered in the hangar, adrenaline still pumping through their veins from the narrow escape. The photos they had taken showed the council's secret weapon, and they knew they had to act quickly. They were no longer just fighting against a ban, they were fighting for their freedom and for the truth. Ilara stood before her team, determination shining in her eyes. "We have proof of the council's lies. They are hiding powerful weapons, and we cannot let them keep doing this. It's time to take action! We need to unite all humans and our allies across the galaxy." Zara, who had been busy reaching out to contacts, stepped forward. "I've been spreading the word. Many are angry and want to join us. They see what the council is doing, and they are ready to fight." Leo clenched his fists. "Let's gather everyone. We need to plan a coordinated attack to expose the council and their weapon. If we can show the galaxy what they are really doing, we can turn the tide in our favor." The team worked late into the night, sending messages and preparing their ships. They knew the council would not take kindly to their actions, and they had to be ready for a fight. Ilara felt a mix of fear and excitement. This was their moment to prove that they were not just humans to be controlled. They were a force to be reckoned with. The following day, Ilara's heart raced as they received messages from various groups. Humans from all corners of the galaxy were rallying to their cause. Friends, families, and former soldiers joined their ranks, eager to stand against the council. Ilara felt a surge of hope as she looked at the growing crowd of supporters. With everyone assembled, Ilara stood before them, her voice strong and clear. "We are here today to fight for our freedom. The council wants to keep us weak and afraid. They fear our potential and our power. But together we can show them that we will not be silenced." The crowd erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted. Ilara could see the determination in their eyes. They were ready to fight for their rights. With the plan in place, Ilara and her team prepared for the mission. They would infiltrate the council's main facility again, this time with a larger group. The goal was to expose the weapon publicly and show the galaxy what the council was hiding. As they approached the facility, Ilara could feel the tension in the air. They split into teams to cover more ground. Alara, Leo, Zara, and Tarek led one group toward the main control room. They moved stealthily, aware that the guards would be on high alert. Inside the facility, alarms blared as the group approached the control room. "They must have found out we're here," Tarek said, glancing around nervously. "We need to hurry!" They reached the control room and quickly accessed the main terminal. Alara's hands flew over the keyboard as she prepared to broadcast the evidence they had collected. Leo kept watch at the door, ensuring they wouldn't be interrupted. Just as Alara was about to press the button, a group of guards burst into the room. "Stop right there!" one shouted, raising his weapon. Alara's heart raced, but she stood firm. "We're exposing the council for what they really are. You can't stop us!" Zara charged forward, using her skills in combat to hold off the guards. "Go, Alara! Do it now!" she yelled. Alara took a deep breath and pressed the button. The screen flickered, and her message filled the room and spread throughout the galaxy. "This is Captain Alara of the human fleet. We are not a threat. We are fighting for our freedom. The Galactic Council is hiding weapons that could endanger us all." As her words echoed, the guards closed in on them. Leo joined Zara in the fight, pushing back against the attackers. Alara could hear the chaos around her, but she focused on the broadcast. The images of the weapon filled the screen, shocking viewers across the galaxy. People gasped as the evidence of the Council's deception became clear. Alara felt a surge of hope as she realized their message was getting through. More humans and allies began to rally behind them, united in their fight for freedom. Just then, a loud crash interrupted the fight. A group of their allies had arrived, led by Zara's contacts. They poured into the room, ready to help. With their combined strength, they pushed the guards back, and Alara knew they had the upper hand. "Let's show the Council that we will not back down!" Alara shouted, feeling the strength of her people behind her. The fight for freedom had begun, and they were ready to face whatever came next. Together, they would change the course of history. The battle raged on inside the Council's main facility. Alara and her team fought side by side with their newfound allies, determined to break the Council's hold on the galaxy. The air was filled with shouts, blaring alarms, and the sounds of clashing weapons. But amidst the chaos, hope burned brighter than ever. Alara moved swiftly through the control room, working alongside her team. Together, they fought against the guards, pushing them back with every ounce of strength they had. With each moment, the tide of the battle shifted in their favor. Alara felt a surge of adrenaline as they fought for their freedom, their determination shining through the darkness. "Keep pushing forward," Alara yelled, her voice ringing with authority. She could see the courage in her team and their allies. They were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for every human and ally across the galaxy. As they cleared the control room, Tarek worked to secure the area. "We need to take control of the main terminal. If we can access the Council's communications, we can spread the truth." Alara nodded, knowing how crucial this moment was. "Let's do it!" With a fierce determination, they reached the main terminal. Tarek quickly began typing, and Alara stood guard. She could see the fear in the eyes of the guards as they realized they were losing control. "Come on, Tarek, we don't have much time," Leo urged, glancing nervously at the door. The sounds of battle echoed through the halls as more guards approached. "I'm almost in," Tarek replied, his fingers flying over the keyboard. Finally, the screen flickered to life, showing the Council's communication network. Tarek grinned. "Got it! Now let's show the galaxy the truth." Alara took a deep breath, ready to send their message out into the galaxy. "This is Captain Alara of the human fleet. We are not the enemies the Council claims we are. We fight for freedom. The Council is hiding weapons that threaten everyone. Join us in our fight for the truth." The message blared across the galaxy, reaching every corner where humans and allies listened. Alara could feel the energy shift. They were not just a small group fighting against an oppressive regime, they were a movement, a united front. Suddenly, the door burst open and Council guards flooded the room. "Stop them!" one shouted, aiming his weapon at Alara and her team. Zara, standing at the front line, shouted back, "You will not silence us! We are here to take back our future." With fierce determination, she charged forward, leading the charge against the guards. The battle intensified as Alara and her friends fought with everything they had. The energy in the room was electric, and the tide of the battle surged in their favor. The Council's grip was slipping, and they could feel victory within their grasp. After what felt like an eternity, the last of the guards fell, and silence enveloped the control room. Elara and her team stood breathing heavily, sweat dripping down their faces. They had done it. They had fought back and taken control of the Council's facility. Tarek turned back to the terminal looking amazed. "I can send out a final message. We can call for allies to join us in the fight." Elara smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Yes!
Let's show everyone that we are united."
We will not let the Council control our lives any longer." As Tarek prepared the final message, Elara looked around at her team and their allies. They had all come together, united in a common cause. This was not just the end of a battle, it was the beginning of a new era. The terminal beeped and Tarek announced, "It's ready!" Elara stepped forward, ready to deliver their final message. "To all who hear this, we stand together as one. The Council has tried to divide us, but together we are stronger. Join us as we fight for freedom and a brighter future." With a push of a button, their message spread across the galaxy, igniting hope in the hearts of countless beings. As the team celebrated their victory, Elara felt a sense of purpose wash over her. They had taken a stand, and their voices would be heard. The fight for freedom was just beginning, and they would continue to stand united against oppression. Together they would create a new beginning, one where every being could live without fear and where the truth would guide their way forward. The galaxy was changing, and Elara knew that this was only the start of their incredible journey.